Got anything to say?
Okay, I pull up.
We're about to hop out at the after party. So it's currently 1 a.m. at LAX in Los Angeles. I'm in the middle of an empty airport, as you saw by the last clip. No one's here, except for a few people. So yeah, I guess that's the end of day one. So I'll just talk about what happened today, I guess. Not much, just traveling a lot. Got Sarah's luggages from her, went over to Christian's and talked to him for a bit. Then Gio and I drove to the airport, and I missed the terminal the first time. So we had to drive all the way around, except I took the wrong exit, so I had to drive a long way around, and Gio thought we were lost. But eventually we made it, and my giant ass backpack, my carry-on, and my 2 empty suitcases that I'm bringing for souvenirs made it to the airport. We were late to board the plane by like 45 minutes because they were waiting for a flight attendant who was late, I guess, got stuck in traffic. I was 3 hours early, so I don't know why he was 45 minutes late. But they wouldn't let us on the plane until he got there. So while I was waiting, I was just people watching. There was a guy who was on a Zoom call, and then as soon as he got off in his full business attire and all that, it started playing Bloons Tower Defense. There were birds inside the airport for some reason. Eventually the guy showed up, and I was about to get on the plane, and they stopped me and said, our carry-on compartments are all full. We're gonna have to check this bag. And that bag is the bag that has all of my clothes. So I had to check that, which means I'm going to wear the clothes that I'm wearing now for probably like 48 hours. So that's gonna be fun. More importantly though, that bag was the bag that had my Oreos. So for the next 48 hours, I'm going to be without Oreos. I don't know if I'm gonna survive that. And what sucks is that when I got on the plane, there was plenty of overhead compartments for carry-ons. So I don't know what they were talking about. I was literally begging them to let me take my carry-on on the plane, and they kept saying no, so I gave up, but there was still space for sure. The flight itself was pretty uneventful. I watched Puss in Boots 2, which was actually really good. I would definitely recommend it. Definitely like a top 5 animated movie. So watch that if you haven't. Of course, the plane was 45 minutes to take off, and I had about 57 minutes for my layover. So that means I actually had 15 minutes now for my layover. So I was really worried I wasn't going to make it. But I got off the plane and I followed the gates to the next flight, and I ended up accidentally exiting the airport. So I had to go through security again. And right as I got there, they called me to my group to start boarding. So I still made it. That flight was 57 minutes as opposed to the 6-hour one from Miami to San Francisco. I don't know why I had to take a connection from San Francisco to Los Angeles and why I couldn't have just have gone straight to Los Angeles, but I don't know how airlines work, so who knows. I got to Los Angeles starving because the last thing that I ate were some very good eggs that Christian made me at like 10 or 11 in the morning, and that was 14 hours ago. So I'm very hungry. But everything is closed. I asked the security guard if there was any open restaurants, and he said no, that Starbucks opens at 4, and it's currently 1. If only I had some Oreos. Anyway, my next flight isn't until noon, which is 11 hours from now. So I gotta decide if I'm going to sleep on the floor of this airport or on the plane, because I don't think I'll be able to do both. But yeah, that was pretty much day 1. Hopefully the next few days are not 1 minute of stuff and 5 minutes of me talking to my phone, but we'll see. Everyone knows I love to talk a lot. I'm gonna do one last run through, see if I can find any food, and if not, take me and my heavy-ass backpack somewhere quiet before this place gets absolutely bustling. Also, one more thing real quick. It's ridiculous that you have to pay for Wi-Fi at airports now. What the fuck is a Boingo hotspot? It's 4:41 and I finally ate something. It was a $20 burger. It was good, but it wasn't worth $20. And now I'm freezing. It's very cold in here, and there's nowhere comfortable to sleep. So, let's see how the next 7 hours go. I'm on the plane to Japan. Check out these windows. Plane's basically empty. Bye, LA.
Will we just come around throughout the flight? At this time, we do ask you to sit back and enjoy the friendly service on today's flight. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to make your flight more enjoyable.
We're about halfway there, which means we will soon be crossing over the international date line, and I will be in the Western Hemisphere for the first time. Good thing that sign's there, I was about to go step on it. Japan. I'm at the airplane terminal in Japan. This airport is so big. I'm picking up my luggage in Japan. I got a Passmo card in Japan. I'm lost in Japan.
Fifth floor.
Target spotted. This is the 9th floor. So it is now 9:30 p.m. Tokyo time, and I am on the 9th floor of the Ikebukuro train station. All I have to say is, holy shit. Just kidding, I have a lot more to say. So I landed in Tokyo at around 2:30 p.m. Tokyo time, and I was on cloud 9, and everything was amazing. The airport was huge. Like, I walked probably like 10 minutes just to get to the customs and get my bags. Oh, I should mention that no one sat next to me on the flight. It was a very empty plane, so I got to lay down on all 3 seats and sleep that way. So very relaxing. I slept for probably like 9 or 10 of the 11 hours of the flight, and they served breakfast at 1 p.m. for some reason, but it was good, so can't complain. The rooftop park is closing, so I'm gonna have to find somewhere else to finish recording this. At least I think they're closing, but I don't speak Japanese that well, so I might have misunderstood. Anyway, after I got my luggage, I got lost because Google Maps wasn't cooperating very well. So I had to ask a employee where I should go, and luckily my Japanese was good enough to do that. So I figured out the station, rode like 14 stops, and got off, and like, oh my god, as soon as I got off the train, like, it was like mind-blowing. Like, I don't know, it's like, think of every major city that you've been to, and it's just, it doesn't compare. Like, I knew I was a weeb. I don't know I was this much of a weeb, but like, Japan is just awesome. Yeah. There's no litter anywhere. There's no trash on the streets. Like, all the asphalt looks like it's freshly paved. People will walk on like the left side of always. Like, there's even little arrows on the floor for you to follow and stuff like that, and people actually follow it. So just in awe of how efficient and clean and organized everything is. It's like, the Japanese, they've got it right. I don't know if you can hear, but the lady in the intercom is saying that they're closing again, I think. Anyway, I got to my hotel, and I was able to talk with the front desk clerk too. I asked him some questions, and do my nostrils always do that? Anyways, he gave me my key. I got upstairs, and like, the room is tiny. Like, there's 6 beds, like I think it's like 6 bunk beds stacked right next to each other, and you saw the video. Each bed is for 1 person. For those of you that know me intimately, this won't come as a surprise, but I've been here all day, and I have yet to use the bathroom, so I don't have any comments on Japanese toilets, but I did take a video of one. They seem to all have the bidet in them. Don't know what each button does yet, but I'm scared to find out. Took a shower in a very compact bathroom, but like even the shower faucets things are streamlined. Like you twist the knob for hot, and you twist it another way for shower head or like tub. It's very cool. After that, I took the train to Ikebukuro and made a beeline to the Pokemon Center in Mega Tokyo, and spent $96 on Pokemon assorted goods there. Might do a haul video later when I get back to my hotel in silence, because you're supposed to be quiet in the rooms, so, all or 5 people can hear you. There was like 3 different stores that were all UFO catchers or claw machines, and like they were all multiple floors. It was just several different stores of claw machines that you can play in. So if you've ever been around one and like Pembroke Pines, it's like that. There were some goth cat boys advertising something called Men's Cat that I was very intrigued but too nervous to ask about. So those goth cat boys will forever live in my dreams. After I left the Pokemon Center, I was hungry but way too nervous to go into any restaurant. So I just spent like 40 minutes walking around trying to steel my nerves to go inside and order something, but eventually I did. I went to a shop that had a picture of the food on the outside and how much it was. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. But I go inside, and the way that you order, it's like a vending machine. You punch in like B29, and it prints out a little ticket for you, and you hand the ticket to the front counter, and they make the food, and they hand it to you. But like, you don't have to say a word the entire time. I ate it, and it was pretty salty, so I was really, really thirsty, and I'd already drank my whole water bottle. I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna order water? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Do I use the vending machine? Do I talk to the lady? Then another guy came in, and there was a water cooler in the back, so I was able to do that without embarrassing myself. Now I can embarrass myself by talking to my phone in a public park. But yeah, that was day 2. Tomorrow I'm going to the Kirby Cafe, so you can imagine how much I'm trembling about the thought of that. $100 at the Pokemon Center is going to be nothing in comparison. I'm scared of what my lack of self-control when it comes to Kirby will do to my wallet. Yeah, everything here is like awesome, even beyond what I was expecting it to be, and I've only been here for half a day. I already don't want to go back, because like, America's a fucking hellhole. Like, I don't know, I've been to multiple other countries. This is my first time in a developed country besides the US, and I don't know if it's just that America fucking sucks or that Japan is really awesome, but yeah, America, step up your game. Anyways, yeah, that's day 2. I think I'm gonna try going on Instagram Live on my way back to my hotel. See if anyone joins in on that. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow when I do this again, except at Kana's house, because I'll be staying with her. Bye. They play bird sounds in the subways. One thing that makes it super easy to get around is that every station has a name, but they also all have letters and number symbols to go with them. So it's really easy to figure out which way you need to go. New York doesn't have that. So as I was checking out, on my way from leaving my room to the front desk, I lost my key, and it cost me $50 to pay them the fine to replace it. So I'm pissed off at myself. That is the Tokyo Skytree, which I will no longer be going up because I spent that money on the key. That's okay, because I've seen Tokyo from an airplane anyway, so it can't be that much different. It's 9:05 Tokyo time, and this is the end of day 3 or 4? Yeah, 3. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I won't be staying with Kana tonight, so I booked a last-minute hotel. It's a very weird hotel. I've been in some small Airbnbs before, but this is very small. Let me give you a tour. So the bed, it's like a full size, it's like a TV, like literally hanging over it. There's like a tiny kitchen, and the bathroom, it's like a foot off the floor to get in, and then like 3 inches inside. So you gotta literally walk up a step to get into the bathroom. And then I thought this is pretty cool. you twist it this way for the shower, and then this way for the sink. And then there's the toilet. Let me also show you the view from my window and hope I don't drop my phone. Yeah, but today was long. I did a lot. I went to the Kirby Cafe, as you guys saw, but you need reservations to get in. I knew that ahead of time, so I wasn't disappointed, but the reservations sell out with like minutes of being posted. They post them for the next month every month, and they go out quick, so I don't even know if I would have been able to get one if I planned my trip. Oh yeah, for those that don't know, I got a notification that tickets were 50% off 2 days before the flight would have been, so I bought them and then I flew out 2 days later. But yeah, the Kirby Cafe is located in the Tokyo Skytree Mall area. The 4th floor is just a bunch of weeb shit, like character stores and souvenirs and stuff, where I spent most of my time. The first place I went to was the Shonen Jump store. Shonen Jump's the publishing company that makes the big series like Dragon Ball, Naruto, Bleach, stuff like that. Surprisingly, they didn't have a lot of Naruto. They just had like a few Naruto stickers and that's about it. I think I completely forgot to take any videos in there, so you guys won't get to see that. Sorry. I didn't buy anything at the Jump store because there wasn't a lot of Naruto, and then the merch they had for the series that I do like as well wasn't as impressive to me, so I didn't get anything. Went to a couple of other stores after that, which I did buy things from, and I'll show that to you guys in a second. But then it was time for the Kirby Cafe. So as you guys saw, the Skytree was very crowded, so I don't know if this is a Japanese thing or just a urban city thing, but when it got too crowded, they gave you a ticket for you to come back at a certain time, and you go in when you get back. So the Kirby Cafe store is different from the Kirby Cafe. The Kirby Cafe is the actual restaurant where you sit down in and they give you cute Kirby themed food, but you need a reservation for it. The cafe store you do not need a reservation for, and it just has like Kirby merchandise. So when it was time for my ticket, I went in line, waited a long time in line, and I finally got in. I'm not gonna say I was disappointed, because I wasn't. It was Kirby, I was floored, but it was a little bit underwhelming. It was a lot smaller than I expected it to be, and most of the merch was merch of Kirby in his little cafe chef outfit. Now, I love Kirby no matter what, but his little chef outfit isn't my favorite. There wasn't a lot to buy for me there, which I guess is a good thing in a way, saved me some money. And after that, I got a similar ticket for a different Pokemon Center. That line was so much longer than the line for Kirby, so my ticket was for me to come back in 2 hours. This is just 40 minutes for the Kirby Cafe. So I went to the Kirby Cafe takeout line because you can still get food. They just have like a limited menu. As you guys saw, it just had 2 burgers and some pizza. And I waited in line for that for probably like 40 minutes, maybe less. But they were sold out of the Kirby burger, which is what I wanted. So I got the Waddle Dee burger instead. It comes with burger, buns, lettuce, tomato, and guacamole, which was new for me. Also comes with cute little fried potatoes that are shaped like stars. So food review, the burger itself was really bland. Like, it didn't really taste like anything at all. But the fries were really good, actually. You get a little toothpick for you to stab them with and put them in your mouth instead of eating them with your hands like a savage. But the best part is it comes in a little Waddle Dee container that you get to keep. Anyways, it would be like another hour and 15 minutes before my food was ready, so I had some time to kill. 2 things that Japan is lacking is that there are not enough benches and there are no water fountains anywhere. The only way to get water is if you sit down at a restaurant and order something, buy it out of a vending machine that the streets are littered with. There's like a vending machine on every corner. Or go into a convenience store, which are also pretty abundant, and you can buy a bottle of water there. So I was on the 4th floor, and the closest convenience store was on basement level 3, so I had to take 7 floors of escalators to get to the convenience store. Oh, and by the way, if you ever go to Japan and purchase something with a card, I'm not sure when it happens, but sometimes they'll ask you to sign, like as if you were at a restaurant. So if they hand you a receipt and ask you to sign it, don't think that's weird. But definitely like not asking for a tip or anything. From what I can understand, they're just asking you to make sure that the price is correct. I guess it's the same thing as like signing on a pin pad, which you have to do sometimes in the US, but it's a lot more frequent here in Japan. I don't know when, like if it's above a certain amount or only at certain stores or only certain types of goods, but sometimes they ask me to sign it, sometimes they don't. So I get to the convenience store and buy one of these. It is a 2-liter jug. I was really scared at first to buy water, because if you know me, I'm very particular with the water that I drink. I won't drink Dasani or Aquafina. And I was scared that I was going to purchase like that weird tasting water on accident in a 2-liter jug form. So I took a gamble and the water tasted fine. It wasn't like amazing except for hills, but it wasn't horrible like Aquafina or Dasani. I didn't really care. I'm talking about water. I think I can skip past this part of the story. I've already talked about it for way too long. That 2-liter jug, I drank most of it throughout the day, and then I bought another one later today. So after I go back up 7 flights of stairs, it was about time for me to wait in line for the Pokemon Center, because you have to be at the front of the line at the time on the ticket, which was 2:15, so it was probably like 1:50, so I went to the back of the line, waited through that. I was a little concerned because I had to pick up the Kirby Cafe burger at 2:30, so I was worried that I wasn't going to make it. Since I had already been to the other Pokemon Center, there wasn't a lot different. They had a plush of my favorite Pokemon, which the other one didn't have, so that was nice. I bought that. And afterwards, I went to pick up my Kirby Cafe burger. I told you about how it tasted, so I just found somewhere to stand because there aren't enough benches and eat it. And after that, I decided to go back to my hotel from yesterday because I left my luggage there for them to hold while I walked around so I could bring it to this hotel. I was originally going to take a subway, but I thought like I'm not in a hurry, so I decided to walk back to the hotel instead. It's a really good choice because you probably know me as the underwater photographer guy, but I also really like repeating patterns in architecture. And Florida has no architecture, so I don't really get to explore that side very often. So I took a lot of photos of those, a lot on film, so I won't get to show those to you guys until later when I get it developed. But yeah, lots of beautiful architecture that I photographed. There was also, I think, like an adoption event going on. There were just a little bunch of dogs in cages, and they all had cute little diapers on. I then walked through a kid's playground, and then over a big bridge, and past the Bandai Namco building where I met Goku in person. He's super cool guy. I think a lot of you would like him. Finally got my luggage from my original hotel and then went through the insane journey of bringing it here. So like I said before, I got 2 empty luggages in addition to my carry-on and my backpack for just souvenirs because I knew I wanted buying a bunch, so I brought 2 empty ones for me to put stuff in. They are starting to get heavy, and I had to carry them across Tokyo by myself. And subway stations have a lot of stairs, so that was not fun. But I made it, and my legs are killing me. So yeah, that was today. Just chilling in my room now. I have seen a couple of funny shirts with English words that Japanese people don't know what they mean. The one that stood out to me the most was probably like a 6 or 7-year-old boy with a shirt that said "Reggae is life" with a big fat weed leaf on the front. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up at sunrise, which is probably like between 4:30 and 5 a.m. and go to the Nezu shrine. So wish me luck with getting up that early. So that was today. Let's go see what things I bought. We got the Kirby burger, I think coin purse. We got the ever so cute children's storybook Dakishimete Kabi, which translates to Hold Me Tight Kirby. And I just absolutely love the art in this book. It's written for kids, so I can actually read it. I don't understand some of the words, but I can read them and say them out loud, so woohoo. Kirby's One Night Werewolf. Now, I had to look this up because I didn't know what it was, but turns out it's a Kirby version of the game Werewolf. And if you don't know what Werewolf is, I know you know what Among Us is. So it's the same concept as that, except you play in Chef Kawasaki's restaurant. I mostly got it just because it had some really cool pixel art cards in it. Yeah, but instead of there being an alien imposter, you are trying to figure out who ate the food. Then got this very cute keychain. I don't know what it's inside. It's one of these. I am hoping for the Kirby burger, but let's see what we get. Not the Kirby burger, but Waddle Dee in an almond ice blanket is also very good. There's a little fork on the keychain too. Now, this is probably the favorite thing that I got today, and possibly one of my favorite Kirby merch ever. It's Kirby, but when you pull on the string, he drives. Got a Kirby Cafe fork for when I want to feel fancy when I eat, and the Kirby Cafe cup for when I want my water to taste even better. Geo, you will not be using either of these, so don't even think about it. Also got this Kirby margarita pizza plate with a margarita pizza on it. One of my favorite pizzas. It's a fridge magnet. A Comic Panic keychain, which is one of my favorite lines of Kirby merch because I love the art for it. It's holographic. I got the Remand Swing Kirby set, which I've always wanted. Just didn't ever really want to pay for shipping for something so small. So now that I'm in Japan, thought why not? The only one of these that I would be less happy if I got probably be just Waddle Dee on the parasol, but I still would like it if I got that. So literally no wrong winners here. The one I want the most though would be Meta Knight. So if I get him, I would be the happiest. Let's go! There he is! Okay, so after all that, when you go to check out, you have an option to purchase a raffle ticket. Japan raffle tickets are cool because you win no matter what. Just once you decide how many you want to buy, you can't buy them again after that. So I decided to buy 3. What works is you pick out 3 tickets that you want, and then you peel them off. A letter is revealed. Depending on which letter you get, the better the prize. So the best prize was A. I only saw 2 of those, and one person won them while I was there. I was very upset, but it was a giant Kirby plush, like bigger than all of these things combined. And then I went all the way to G, which are less desirables, but still pretty good. So I got 1E, which is the third from the bottom prize. It's a little washcloth with a Kirby cannon on it. I love the pixel art. Here are my other choices. 2 G prizes, which are supposed to be the worst, but honestly I like them better than the E prize. This one is a little planner that I'll probably use to take Japanese notes in, ironically. Other G prize was a set of post-it notes, which is like one of my favorite of the lottery prizes, so I'm surprised it was a G prize. It's got a little diorama from Kirby's Dream Land 3, which is one of my favorite art styles from a Kirby game. There's the little Waddle Dee container that I mentioned, came with the Waddle Dee burger in it. Just opens up like that. Here is my Blaziken plush. Blaziken's my favorite Pokemon and my first Pokemon, so I was very excited that they had a plush for him. He was overpriced though, I think he was like $30, but I didn't know the price until I got to the cash register, and I didn't know how to say never mind, so I just bought it. And I got these Torchic hair clips that I won't wear, but I like Torchic, so I bought them. Also got this seemingly random assortment of stuff that when you assemble looks like this. And this was like $30 or maybe even less, so totally a steal. I'm not actually sure how to assemble it though. It seems like it might need glue, but I hope that it is not difficult. And then I got this cute little acrylic stand of a pixelated samurai. Now on to gifts. I got Gio this cute little Lapras sticker that says "Get on?" ? And Janice asked for some weird snacks and also Hello Kitty merch, so I got her Kurami gummies, which hopefully won't melt by the time that they get to her. Got James a Gundam Gashapon bust, which I didn't open because opening a Gashapon capsule is supposed to be a personal experience. So got this, which I don't want to open because it is a gift for Callie, but it's basically a bunch of little dried up flowers in a vial that instantly made me think of her when I saw it, so I got it. Then they had this replica food store, which, made realistic replica food, and I really like it. I wish I got more, but some of them were kind of on the expensive side, and a lot of them were sold out, but it was in the city of Yokohama, so I got Gio some salmon, and if you know Gio, you'll know why that's funny. Oh yeah, that's all the stuff that I bought today. Tomorrow, after I go to the shrine, I'm going to Akihabara, which, if you don't know what that is, it's basically like the anime center of the world, so I'm anticipating spending some money there as well. But yeah, going to sleep since I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. tomorrow. So again, wish me luck with that, and see you guys tomorrow. It's 5:10 a.m. and the streets are empty, but the sun looks like it's been up for like 3 hours already, even though it just rose just now. I'm a little early because I want the sun that's shining over there to be over here. So I'm probably gonna have to wait like another 30 minutes. Hopefully people don't start showing up by then. just got some convenience store bento. Now, from my understanding, the konbini bento isn't the best quality food, but since I've seen it a lot in anime, I've always wanted to try it. So here I am. Also got some onigiri or rice balls, or if you're an anime fan, you know them as jelly donuts. But I've also always wanted to try these, and they're really cheap too. Like this was under $1, and this was a little over $5 in US dollars. So pretty good. They also ask you if you want to heat it up at the store. They have a little microwave behind the register, which I thought was super cool. I didn't know they did that. They also give you chopsticks, which is good because I forgot that I don't have any utensils. I guess I could have used the Kirby fork. Ja, itadakimasu. You know, that was actually not that bad. Think like Stouffer's or Lean Cuisine, but slightly better. Could definitely see myself eating that pretty regularly. It was a little hard to eat steak with chopsticks, though. That was kind of difficult. Time for actual food.
MacBook シリーズをはじめ iMac、Mac Pro などの高品質な中古商品を
お嬢様はこの後のメイドゲストの上がってください。
Skull fucking is a thing.
Like real skulls?
This country was made for me. Oh, it's empty. It is currently 1:18 a.m. Tokyo time on the 6th Saturday. I'm gonna try and make this short so we can all go to sleep because it's pretty late. Today I woke up at like 4:30 a.m. Got ready and walked to the shrine. I don't remember if I said, but the sun rises at around 4:30, and like there was no one in the streets like at all. It was like a ghost town, and it's crazy that like you can have a city like Tokyo where there could be like 1 million people at one point, and then you take a train station and go like 2 stations down for like 7 minutes, and then there's like no one there. But yeah, I got to the shrine, took some self-portraits there. I got there, and when I first got there, it was like 5:20 a.m. and there was a girl there already who was just taking selfies in one spot. When I had left 3 hours later, she was still taking selfies in that same spot. But yeah, the shrine was beautiful. You guys saw. I didn't need to get there that early because from what it seemed like online, they made it seem like it was going to be packed, like people all the time there, but like 7 o'clock, it was still not packed at all. Definitely could have gotten there a lot later. I left at around 7:30 and walked back to my hotel. Figured out what I was going to do for the rest of the day. Checked out, and the front desk guy did not speak English and kind of had called them previously and asked if I could store my bags there, so I tried my best to ask them about that, but it seems like, from what I understood, you can't store your bags if you've already checked out. But I didn't really get it, so I just panicked and walked out and took my luggage with me. That means that I was carrying around a lot of luggage throughout Tokyo, so I needed to figure out what to do. But the big train stations have lockers in them that you can store your stuff. Each locker, depending on the size, can be like $4, $6. You can leave it there as long as you want. After that, I left the station and went to Yamashiroya, which is a 6th-floor toy store, which was probably the best part of today. As you saw, there was a floor that was almost entirely Kirby, and then there was a section that was like indie games. They had merch from Hollow Knight, Undertale, Shovel Knight, Roblox, more indie representation than I've ever seen in America. It was a mistake going there first because I had to carry that around with me for the rest of the day. After that, I left and started walking to Akihabara, which is like the anime district. While I was walking to Akihabara, I must have entered like a seedier part of town because there were bars everywhere, people trying to sell people stuff. Not me though, 'cause I'm a foreigner, so they didn't even bother. But after that, I found a store that sold t-shirts of naked women. And oh, in Japan there's censorship law, so there was no bottom half, but they had their nipples out in public. You could see it from the front of the street. Couldn't film it because then it wouldn't be on YouTube right now. I took a picture of like a alleyway where people were eating, and a guy thought that I was taking a picture of him, like an older guy, probably like in his 50s, so he did a cute little peace sign. And so I did take a picture of him. I zoomed in, I took his portrait, and we started talking. I did my best to speak Japanese. He asked me stuff like where I was from, was I with anyone, is this my first time in Japan, and stuff like that. My best to answer, but I told them that my Japanese wasn't the best, but him and his friends were all like, no, it's good. It's totally fine, don't worry about it. It was cool. I kind of got to interact with a stranger and his buddies who were drinking at a bar at 10 in the morning. After that, I went to a store in Akihabara. I finally made it there. It was 10 floors of anime figures and trading cards. I walked all 10 floors and didn't buy anything because I'm not really into anime figures that much anymore. Went around to some more anime and game stores, bought some gifts for people, and then I went to the Square Enix Cafe, which is incredibly small. Like, I was not expecting that, and it was empty too, so I don't know why you needed a reservation. Then I met up with Kana and her boyfriend, and we went to a Maid cafe. When I got to the Maid cafe, the maid liked my Kirby necklace and Kirby tattoo, so she was my favorite. They were sold out of almost everything, so I just got omuraisu, which is just egg, and then they put rice in it and they draw on it with ketchup. You're not allowed to take videos or pictures of the maids though, so I couldn't get any of that. But I did purchase the Polaroid option, where they take a Polaroid with you and you get to pick the cutest one, and I picked Peach. Her name was Peach. The food was good, and then we left and went to a sex store full of sex toys. But they weren't really all that different from American ones. I guess what works, works. Then after that, we went to Tokyo Station, which has a floor called Tokyo Character Street, which is just a long strip mall of different stores, and each store is like for like a specific character. They had a Ghibli store, they had a Shonen Jump store, they had a Crayon Shinchan store. There was a mini Kirby cafe there that only sold desserts, but I don't eat sweets, and they were about to close, so we didn't get anything. Then we went to go back and get my luggage from storage, except I couldn't remember where I stored them, so it took us a lot longer than expected for us to find them. Finally, we got back to Kana's house, and we were hungry again, so we went to an Izakaya, which is kind of like a bar restaurant area, and the menus there are like perfect. They need to implement these in Japan right now. It's a touchscreen. It shows all of the pictures of the foods. It has a description in multiple languages. You order, and then as soon as you order, they start making your food and bring it out, so you can start eating as soon as it's done, versus as in America where everyone orders at the same time and they don't bring out your food until everyone's food is done. Then we walked back here, and yeah, that was the day. Tomorrow we're going to the Nintendo store, but I'm gonna make sure I do that last so I don't have to carry all the stuff I'm going to inevitably buy around with me. I guess I'll show you what I bought today, and there's a lot. Anna, do you have anything to add about our day today?
Saw a lot of boobs.
A lot of boobs.
Free feet pics.
Free feet pics. I got this squishy Kirby. He's squishy, but you can't tell because he's caged. I got this set of I think they're blind boxes, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to open them right now because it's late. Classic Kirby. A Rocky plush. Another Kirby plush. A plush of Pitch. Adeline plush. Got this from a claw machine on my first try for less than $1. And yes, he is cheeked up. When I won this guy, a little kid watched me do it and he was very happy. So I tried to win another one for him, but I took 2 tries and I couldn't do it, so it was beginner's luck. Ribbon plush. Kracko plush. I got this plush keychain. Got this. Hoping for this one, but I'm not going to open it right now. Got this too, and I really want this one or one of those two. Got this washcloth, matches my neck tattoo. Kirby Cafe Petite, which is basically just desserts. Pink makes you twinkle. Got this. I want the Torchic, Hoppip, or the Pachirisus. Got this little manga panel acrylic from a manga that I like. Here's what I got at the Maid Cafe. There's the maid I chose my Polaroid with. Her name is Peach. Got a Blaziken figure, because again, he's my favorite. Got a Goku acrylic from a Gashapon. It's just like it's like one of those 25-cent capsule toy machines that they have. That you can get like gumballs and stuff in. This Pokemon Bonsai. The one that I want the most are any of these 3. These stickers and a Polaroid of my new wife. And the guy at Yamashiroya was so nice that when I told them that I loved Kirby and proved it by spending $200 on Kirby stuff, he gave me this bag for free. It came with postcards and a little tin inside. For stuff bought for other people. Got this Shiba magnet for Kaylee, and she was begging me for something from Nike. So I got the Dami Mommy acrylic figure. Spirited Away embroidered button for Alyssa B. Don't know which one it's going to be, but I'm hoping it's one of the Haku ones because she likes Haku. Got a slam dunk book for Dimitri that he requested. Kind of looks like it says Islam right here. And for Alex, I got a Neo Automata acrylic stand. Let's hope it's not one of the robots, because I know she wouldn't like that. Then I got her a Alphano manga. And if you know anything about the weird Japanese vending machines, you know what this is, but I'm not going to say it. Thing I got yesterday, it's the next day now, because I went to sleep halfway through that unboxing video. Today we're going to Harajuku and Shibuya and the Nintendo store. So yeah, I'll update you guys with how that goes later. Authentic Japanese anime, straight from the source. Made a teru teru bozu, which you're supposed to hang outside to prevent it from raining. Takimasu. Oishii.
But not yet. You lost.
Nezuko. Shimata. Oh!
I think I do.
What is the difference?
I barely see the difference.
Nine?
An eyeliner, highlighter.
Highlight. Okay. Almost out of time? I didn't do a recap last night because it was late and I was tired and we wanted to go to sleep. Yesterday I left the house at like 12:30 I think because I just like to sleep in a little bit. First thing I did was go to Harajuku, but I got lost on the way there and almost took the wrong train. I didn't really like it. It was really crowded and none of the stores really interested me. It's basically like a fashion district, but it was really touristy. Like there was a lot of Americans there and people trying to sell me stuff and stuff like that. I wanted to take pictures of people in cool outfits, but there weren't a lot of them. So I didn't spend a lot of time there, but then I went to Shibuya, which is like a downtown area, very downtown district. If you've seen that crossing street from Japan where everyone crosses a lot, Shibuya Scramble, that's where it is. The clothing store was having a collaboration with Naruto and like Shonen Jump, so I got a Makima acrylic stand. I wanted power, but they didn't have it, so Makima it is. Got this blind bag that has art in it, and I got Kawaki. He's from Boruto, but he's so cool. I like him, so happy with that. I'd probably get another one if I saw one and try and get like an OG Naruto character, but this is cool too. Went to Tower Records, but they didn't have what I was looking for, so I left pretty quick. Then I met up with Kana and we got conveyor belt sushi. For every 5 plates you get, you're supposed to get a chance at a prize, and it was Demon Slayer themed this time. We didn't get a prize until our 20th plate, so we tried 4 times, except then the prize machine was broken, so we didn't get to see it come out, so the guys just gave us stuff. We went to the Nintendo store in Tokyo, and I got the vending mouth Kirby. He's a vending machine. They also had a Shonen Jump store, a Capcom store, and another Pokemon center there, but I didn't get anything there. Kinokuniya, which is a Japanese bookstore, but they also have it in New York, and I love going to the one in New York because it's huge and has a lot of anime stuff, but here it was pretty much just a regular bookstore, so not much going on there. I wanted to find a book with Japanese girl with big boobies on it, but they didn't have one. After that, we went to a Hello Kitty store and then decided to take the train home. As I was leaving the station, I lost my wallet. I guess it fell out of my pocket or something, so we went back into the station and looked. It wasn't there. I was panicking. I had all my money in there, plus my American credit card and ID and all that stuff. So we went to the police station, and someone had actually turned it in, because there is no such thing as crime in Japan. So I was able to get my wallet back and everything in it. Then we went to a game center, which had one of those photo booths that make your eyes giant. Here is our pictures. It won't focus, but you can kind of see how big our eyes are. The game center had a game where the prizes were all Monster Energy drinks, which I'm sure some of you would love. These are the little capsules we got at the sushi place that were supposed to fall from the top. These are all gifts now. So this is Hello Kitty's butt that I got in a gashapon. You can kind of see her feet there. There are 3 little charms, and the paper in the middle slides out so you can swap them. You're supposed to exchange them with your friends, so I got one for Victoria, Alyssa, and Janice, so you guys can swap that around. And for Alyssa again, I got these Kurami socks. And then for Kate, my friend who lives in England, I got this cute little Porco Rosso plush. She's very adorable. I'm gonna be staying in a hotel again tonight, so I need to figure out how I'm gonna bring all 3 of my luggage there. I'm gonna go to a shrine that's nearby first, and then come back and Kana will help me bring my luggage somewhere. We're gonna go to Nakano Broadway, which is a big shopping mall. And after that, we're going to take some photos on the streets at night. Well, I am. Kana has to be home early because her and Koya have work tomorrow. That's why I'm staying in a hotel. Daisuki. Very excited for this game.
ダメだ。やばい、ダメだった。
hole. Do you want to take pictures with my camera?
It's okay.
Bamboo is just bamboo.
No.
Mm.
Yeah. So there's Ichome, which is like section number 1.
Mm.
Nichome, section number 2. Sanchome,
Mm.
section number 3. And then within those sections, there's Ban and Chi.
Mm.
Yeah.
So,
So it's
chome.
just like splitting up the area into like numbered sections, so it's easier to tell.
It's very steep. And this is where we're going. Just kidding.
Das bringt doch hier nichts in den Berliner.
Say cheese. It is currently 2:02.
This is the final boarding.
Los Angeles time. I wasn't able to record a video yesterday due to stuff you will soon hear about. The day started off rainy, I had a raincoat that I brought to do a photo shoot with that I got to actually use for its intended purpose. We started off by going to the Sasuke Inari shrine. The other shrine is kind of in the middle of the city, but this one is way out in the mountains, so we had to take a bus to get there. We got a little lost on the way there because Google Maps is unreliable sometimes, but that's okay because I was enjoying it, just walking through the woods with a light drizzle everywhere. Kind of eventually had to go home, so I just kind of walked around by myself. I eventually found it to the shrine, took some pictures there, and made my way to the shrine. So this shrine has probably like 3,000 or more little fox statues littered around it, and you could buy one. You gotta leave it there or take it home with you, and I decided to take it home with me. And this is what they look like. Just picture a shrine with these as far as the eye can see. I just opened the box for the first time, and I guess it comes with two. On my way back, I went the way that I was supposed to, not the way Google Maps told me to go, and I ended up walking through a city called Kamakura. It was the prettiest city I've been to in Tokyo so far. If I were to move to Japan, I'd want to live there. There were like plants and flower shops and everywhere, but it was still modern. The station is big, so it could get you a lot of different places. Really nice looking city. I wish there was something like that around me. I eventually got back to Kana's house and grabbed my luggage, and that's where things started to get not so good. So when I went to Japan, I had one luggage stuffed inside of the other because they were both empty. Obviously, by the end of my trip, they were both full, so I now had 3 luggages instead of 2. So I only have 2 hands, so I had to walk the 3 luggages in the cold rain to the nearest station by myself. And due to some unrelated things, I was having a bit of anxiety and just not really in a good mood. And I got kind of stressed out and got lost in the station 4 times. I went to 4 different track lines, and I had to carry the luggages up and down the stairs all 4 times by myself, which made me pretty late to my next destination, which is Nakano Broadway. When I got there, everything was closed. So I took my luggages to my next destination, Shibuya, where I stored all 3 of them in a locker that they provide at every big subway station. Before I put my luggage away in the locker, though, I was stopped by 2 gentlemen. One of them stopped and said, "Wow, you have a lot of luggage." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And the another one, he spoke English. The first guy did not. Started asking me about my trip. Where was I from? Was I alone? Am I enjoying Japan? And to tell him when I'm coming back next time. So I told him, sure. And I asked to take a picture with them, and they're like, sure. And then he asked me to send it to him on Line, which is Japanese WhatsApp if you don't know. And I did. So I made a friend, and when I sent him the picture, he left me on red. So I don't know the status of our friendship right now. I made my way to Omoide Yokocho, which is kind of just like a alleyway that has a bunch of different food shops, but it's really pretty. It's got lanterns and lights and stuff. You guys saw it. Online it said that it wasn't very foreigner friendly, but when I got there, it was like the biggest tourist trap I had seen so far in Japan. Like there were more foreigners than Japanese people there. And most things there were in English, so I'm not sure why the internet lied to me. Why would they do that? There was also a couple at Omoide Yokocho that was from Spain, spoke Spanish, and I asked them if they wanted me to take their picture. And I kept mixing up my languages. I kept saying stuff in Japanese that I meant to say it in Spanish, or stuff in English when I meant to say it in Japanese, and It was very confusing. I didn't expect to be tripped up like that. The next place that I went to was Ramen Nagi, which again the internet said was a really good ramen place, and did not know it was in the red light district. So when I was making my way there, I was accosted by a lot of foreigners asking me if I wanted to play. So I guess foreigners run the brothels and clubs in Japan. I panicked and told one of them that I don't speak English and that I was Japanese, so stop talking to me. But he was in Japan, of course he speaks Japanese, so he started talking to me in Japanese, and then I told him that I was Brazilian and I didn't speak Japanese. I got to Ramen Nagi, and there was a line out the front, and all the other restaurants in that area were kind of dead, so I figured, okay, maybe the internet was right about this one, and it's like all the hot shit. Even when I was walking to the back of the line, I heard someone say that this is where all the Japanese people say is the best Japanese ramen. As I was waiting in line, a Taiwanese man started to speak to me with Google Translate, and he told me about how he heard this place was really good too. He started telling me about how he was a ramen fanatic, and that he's eaten ramen every single day since he got to Japan a week ago. And when he is in Taiwan, he eats ramen a lot too. He even follows some YouTube channels about ramen reviewers, about a guy who ate 600 something bowls of ramen in a year. And that reviewer said that this place was really good too. I did notice though that there were only foreigners in line. There weren't any actual Japanese people there. Anyway, I got to the front of the line and I asked if they took card, and they told me that they only took cash. So I said that I don't have any cash because it was my last day and I had spent it all. It actually worked out perfect. I spent all of my cash on the very last day, and I didn't have any left, so it worked out great. Even my Passmo, which is a little ticket thing that you use to get onto trains, I had just enough money on it to get around. Anyway, as I was walking away from Nagi, another couple who were in line were like, "Hey, we can give you cash, just, sell us." And I'm like, "Oh, really? Thanks, cool." So I bought some ramen. It was also like one of those convenience store things where you push a button to order. But this place was clearly very touristy. Like, you had to pay extra to add meat, you had to pay extra to add eggs, you had to pay extra to add rice. There was a lot of different ways that they were capitalizing on their reputation, I guess. The cook asked if I wanted meat in my ramen, and it would be an extra 200 yen, but the waitress lady, I guess, knew that I didn't have any cash, so she said that it was okay and that she could just give it to me. So that was nice of her. The ramen was good, but it definitely did not live up to the hype. It just tasted like regular ramen to me, and I didn't really understand why it was so hyped up. The Taiwanese guy said he loved it, so I don't know, maybe it's just me. As I was leaving, I wanted to go to downtown Shibuya to ask some people if I could photograph them, and I ended up getting really, really lost. I was already having kind of a bad day, and this just kind of made it worse. So my anxiety levels were going through the roof. I decided to just not go to Shibuya and go to my hotel, so I pulled up the email to get the address. And that's when I saw that the last time to check into my hotel was 10 p.m. and it was currently 10:34. So I had to book a last minute hotel that would take people at night because that's probably when I would get there. And at that point I just wanted to be done with everything, so I went back to where I stored luggage and I couldn't find it again. I knew exactly where it was, and I still had the receipt that told me where it was, But Shibuya Station keep moving because people keep showing up to my hiding spots, and I don't like being watched while I talk to myself. Anyway, Shibuya Station I think is the largest station in Tokyo, so it's huge. It's got 3 floors. So I knew where my luggage was, I just didn't know how to get there, and I can't just put locker number blah 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 into Google Maps. I knew it was in the south part of the station, so I kept looking for the south exit, but turns out it was at the south gate, which are apparently 2 different things, and the south gate wasn't even at the south part of the station when I eventually found it after asking a bunch of different workers. Trains also stopped running at midnight, and I found my luggage at like 11:45 to 11:50, so I needed to get on the very next train, or I would be stuck in Shibuya with all of the Yankee delinquent people who are just hanging around, loitering and smoking in public. I did make it on the train, thankfully. Except I had to take one that dropped me off at a station farther away from my hotel. So I had to walk 15 minutes in the rain with 3 luggage. So in the 50s, so I was really cold. I did eventually make it to my hotel. This hotel, probably the nicest of the 3 that I stayed in. And what's cool is that it seems like it's entirely based off of the honor system. I got there and the door was unlocked. I got an email saying I was in bed number 5. It wasn't quite a capsule hotel, but there were just like a bunch of curtains and beds. So kind of like a hospital, but it looked nice. There was no like front counter or anything. You don't really check in. There's no checkout. They just have to be out at 11. So that's pretty wild to me. Like everything was clean too. So just the fact that something like this can exist in Japan shows how far behind America is. Anyway, it's like 1 a.m. at this point, so I just changed my pajamas and pass out in bed. I'm not gonna take the time to record a vlog, especially since there are other people in the room and I couldn't disturb them, and I couldn't go outside because it was orange. So next day I woke up at 10:30 and got all my stuff and checked out at 11. And again, no one was there to verify that I actually left at 11. I decided to try and go back to Nakano Broadway, the place that was closed because I took the wrong train almost too many times. I took a trolley there and found a luggage storage again. This station was a lot smaller than Shibuya, so I knew exactly where my storage was and how to get to it. Nakano Broadway is basically just a strip mall. It's got 4 floors, and you can just walk around and buy stuff. A lot of it was just like watches and jewelry, but there was a lot of cool video game and anime stores too. I did find a book with a Japanese girl with big boobies on it, but I decided not to buy it because, you know, the internet exists. I bought a lot of little trinkets there, and I finished up gifts. Hopefully I didn't forget anyone that asked me to get them something, but if I did, I'm sorry. I had a bad day the day before, and I wasn't really thinking about gifts all that much. I also can't show you any of the trinkets that I got because they are in my checked bag. Maybe I'll do a video when I get home and have my luggage with me. I can show you. It's all in one separate part of my checked bag, so it'll be pretty easy to pull out, but it just depends if I'm too tired or lazy to do that. If I do one, though, I will edit it in right here. I'm home now, so let's get this over with so I can go to sleep. I got Geo, This Domestic Girlfriend, Volume 1 manga. Got Blims, this keychain. Who knows what's inside? I do, because I bought it used. This Kirby, Taranza from Kirby, Got Alex this little Uraraka figure that she probably already has. Got a Puku Muku. Got my therapist this lizard that you assemble. I got myself a Cheeton figurine. Susie from Kirby. Goku, but he's gray, and I think that looks cool. Frieza, he's gray, but he's normally like that. I got Vic, this silly goose. At least I think it's a goose. It might be a crane, but close enough. I got another Goku. Magalore from Kirby. Scarfy from Kirby. Frieza gray on purpose this time. I got Sarah, this cat that looks like oat. I got Angel, a little Master Sword replica. I got this Kirby with a cannon. I got another Goku, because I really like these gray figurines and they were super cheap. I got Vic an actual goose. And that's it. Woo. Anyway, back to the main video. After Nakano Broadway, it was 3 and my flight was at 6:30, so I decided to make my way to the airport, which did everything that I had planned to do this trip anyways. And on my way there, I made friends with someone from Lithuania who was staying there for 8 months on a work tourism visa, so I was very jealous. So yeah, if you had told me that all 3 people that approached me in Japan to talk to me would be foreigners, I would be surprised. I was too embarrassed to ask for the social media of all the cute people that I photographed, so they'll never get those pictures, but oh well. I finally made it to the airport, and I must have left my Passmo on the train, because in Japan you scan it when you get on the train, and you scan it when you get off the train. So I scanned it to get on, and then when I went to scan it to get off, I didn't have it. So I had to talk to the station master or whoever, and he just let me through, so cool. I ate some yakisoba at the airport, which was one of the things I had been reading to eat in Japan. I'm sure it wasn't as good because it was, airport food, but it was something. And then I got to the gate right as they started boarding, so perfect timing. Got on the plane, and edited the photos that I took in Japan on the 9-hour plane ride there, so those are all done. I'll probably post them soon. And yeah, I don't know how it was 9 hours from Japan to LA, but 11 hours from LA to Japan. Just another way that Japan is more efficient, I guess. And now here I am again in Los Angeles. It's 3:45 and my flight's at 9:15, so I've got about 5 hours to kill. I don't want to leave the airport because they've got my luggage with me and I'd have to Uber, and even though I like LA, but oh well. I'll be going to Newark in New Jersey, and then from there I'll have a 1-hour layover and end up in Miami at around 10 a.m. hopefully. Hopefully Gio decides to pick me up and not make me walk or something he would do. When I landed in LA, it was already kind of a big difference between America and Japan. Like, there's like exhaust fume smells in the air, with smoke everywhere. People here are just louder, a lot ruder, a lot angrier, and it just feels like there's less empathy. It seems like Japan promotes a culture that benefits society, whereas America promotes a culture that benefits the individual. It just seems like people are more selfish in America. Like I didn't see or hear any Karens complaining about their order in Japan, or getting angry for road rage or stupid stuff like that. A guy at the airport that I was eavesdropping on said it best. He said it feels like we're living in un-United States of America, where Japan has everything figured out. Like you can use the same Passmo anywhere in the country. You do everything is the same price no matter where you get it if it's the same good. Versus America, some stores will have things for cheaper, some things will have some things more expensive. It just depends on where you go. And you can't even use the same bus pass on different buses in the same city sometimes. So Japan just feels a lot more unified. And yeah, I agree with him. It's kind of demoralizing coming back here and just seeing how different it is. Just, I feel like we could all learn a lot from each other, and there are some things that America needs to catch up on. Overall, Japan was an extremely positive experience. It's definitely somewhere I would absolutely return to, and it's definitely somewhere I'm considering moving to, because there's nowhere really in America that I want to live. Definitely not Florida. Definitely not Florida right now. So let's see where things take me. So yeah, that was my trip. Thanks for sitting through this video. It's currently an hour and 50 minutes long, but I'll probably trim it down to be like an hour and 40, 45. So if you actually watched the whole thing, wow, you must really like me. Thanks. Yeah,